Solving equations with fractions. When you're adding or subtracting with fractions, step 1, make sure the denominator has only one term by factorizing where necessary. Step 2, find the lowest common denominator. Step 3, make sure each fraction has the same denominator. Step 4, drop the denominator so that you only work with the numerators. Note only for equations, not expressions. And then step 5, solve for x. Solve for x, round off to 2 decimal places where necessary. For number 1, we have 3x squared minus 9 divided by x squared minus 4 is equal to 4 minus 2 over x plus 2. Here we have two fractions. For the first fraction, we can actually factorize. So we'll have x minus 2, x plus 2 as a denominator. And for the second fraction, x plus 2 is already simplified. We can just add brackets to make it one term. Now, for the lowest common denominator in this case, we'll see it's x minus 2 and x plus 2. We're going to make restrictions of it. Basically, how you make a restriction is you take those brackets, you'll say x minus 2 can't be 0, x plus 2 can't be 0, and then you get x alone, so x can't be 2, x can't be negative 2. From here, the 3x squared minus 9 has both the brackets of the lowest common denominator equals. The 4, as you can see, has none of the two brackets, so we can have both of them there. And then for negative 2, it only needs x minus 2. From here, we can simplify. So we'll have 3x squared minus 9 is equal to 4x squared minus 16 minus 2x plus 4. Then we'll have x squared minus 2x minus 3 is equal to 0. And then going off the first slide, we'll have x squared minus 2x minus 3 is equal to 0. So we're going to factorize it. So we'll have x minus 3, x plus 1 equal to 0. And then we're going to get x alone. So it's going to be x is equal to 3 or x is equal to negative 1. Number 2, x squared minus 3x minus 7 divided by x squared minus x minus 2 is equal to x plus 2 divided by x plus 1 minus 1. For the first fraction, we can factorize it to have x minus 2 and x plus 1 in brackets. And then for the second fraction, we can just put brackets over the x plus 1 because it's already simplified. So our lowest common denominator will be x minus 2 and x plus 1. Making the restrictions, x can't be 2 and x can't be negative 1. From here, x squared minus 3x minus 7 already has both the brackets, so we don't need to add a bracket. But for x plus 2, we need to add the bracket x minus 2. And then for negative 1, we need to add both the brackets x minus 2 and x plus 1. Simplified, we'll have x squared minus 3x minus 7 is equal to x squared minus 4 minus x squared plus x plus 2. Simplified further, we'll have x squared minus 4x minus 5 is equal to 0. We factorize it, so we have x minus 5, x plus 1 equal to 0. So our answers will be x is equal to 5 or, and then this falls into the restriction, so x can't be negative 1. Number 3. Here we have 3 fractions. All of them can't really be simplified, so we can just put brackets over it. However, I do suggest do not work with a negative x squared, because if you were to just change the sign, you can factorize that denominator. So it's going to have to be x minus 1 and x plus 1. Our lowest common denominator for this case is x plus 1 and x minus 1, followed by the restrictions x can't be 1, x can't be negative 1. For number 1, we can clearly see that it needs the bracket x minus 1. For 3x minus 1, it just needs the bracket x plus 1. And then for negative 2, it has the two brackets we need. So we can simplify to x minus 1 plus 3x squared plus 2x minus 1 plus 2 equals 0. Simplified further, we have 3x squared plus 3x equal to 0. And if you factorize it by taking out a common factor 3x, you'll have x plus 1. Separate them, you'll have x is equal to 1. Or, and again it falls into restriction, x can't be negative 1. And that's the end of solving equations with fractions.